Alrighty, so we're going to be messing around with Bird Floor 4 today, and so far I have done several attempts, and I hate this fight so much so far. It is not fun. It is very RNG heavy, not a big fan of the way that this is designed, so unfortunately it be like that sometimes. But either way, I am using this setup right here, which is Magelda, Trader Melly, green Valentine's Day Deanne, and I am using Thor, of course. Thor is strong for this fight, and is now strong for the bird in general, even through floors 1 through 3. So take that into consideration if you want to. There are teams without Thor on them that I've seen win. Unfortunately, I'm just trying to get a grasp of the fight before I do anything crazy, and it is turning out to be a little bit more difficult than I had originally anticipated. So, basically, the idea in Phase 1 here is that you're going to try to keep a couple of ways to cleanse, just because there is several debuffs that he can put on you, and for each debuff that he applies to your team, he is actually going to gain 80% defense, which isn't necessarily for him tanking, but the tornado card right here that he is using actually scales off of his defense. So once he gets those big boosts, because he's going to start applying debuffs to the whole team, like this right here, that is going to be a lot of increase for him. So the tornado card will end up killing you. So you basically just need to cleanse with Magelda's heal, and then if you have the Trader Melly relic, you are going to also be able to cleanse one debuff off from each of your allies with an all-target skill, so we use his Pierce card there. That is pretty helpful. So other than that, we're going to go ahead and maybe throw these two cards out for single targets, so that way we can continue to build up Melly's damage reduction passive. The idea, though, is that you want to try and have 3 level 2 cards going into the second phase. Unfortunately, the entire fight is kind of time crunched in the sense that there's just several things that can happen that you need to try to get through these phases as quickly as possible, but you also want to be able to build up your cards and stuff like that and just do enough damage and everything, and it's a huge luck fest, unfortunately. I hate to say it, but it is not good. Not good. I do not like the way that this is designed so far. Not 100% sure if this is going to kill. We have 2 level 2 cards in hand. Hopefully we can get enough, or get either one of these 2 to merge, or merge into a level 2 going into this. I don't even know if this is going to kill. It does not look like it's going to. Pretty close, but not quite. That's not a huge deal just yet. We do pull an extra one of these Thor cards, so we can merge that for the extra level 2, which is nice. I think we should be able to kill with the Deanne Quell Ultimate here as well, so that will be kind of nice, because it'll heal us a little bit. I only have it 3/6, so it's nothing crazy. Actually, it's not going to heal us at this point, because we are now disabled, so that kind of sucks. Let's do... I think I'm going to go ahead and just throw this Melly Ultimate out, and we can just move this card to get closer to her ultimate. I think we already have it, though. So, not a huge deal. We kill there. I don't know how many turns this disable lasts, but we do pull a heal card, which is actually nice. Does this not expire? Okay, glad we pulled that heal card. And at this point, we can go ahead and throw 2 of these level 2s out, and then an Amplify as a level 2 as well. This is going to deal some really good damage, which might be good, might be bad, but, or actually, it's not going to deal good damage, because the idea here is in Phase 2, you need to put these 3 debuffs on. These are crit chance, crit damage decreases, but you only get them if you use level 2 skills or higher, so you can use a level 3, but you need to use 3 level 2 skills in a single turn, and that will basically put on this shield that you can see. So we have Hraesvelgr's Protection, which is a 100,000 damage barrier, and or I guess it's HP, but either way, we can go ahead and cleanse off a little bit of that debuff there. Ideally, you kind of just want to blitz through this part as quickly as possible, because as soon as this shield goes away, you're in for a pretty tough time. So I think what we're going to do is go ahead and attack as much as possible here. I kind of want to throw the stance up, but I don't necessarily know that we need the stance at the moment. So I think I'm okay with going ahead and throwing the ultimate from Melly as well. We will need that ultimate from Melly because it has a buff removal in it for the very last phase, but we will have to worry about that when we get there, because unfortunately, like I said, you just kind of have to play this pretty fast and hope that the RNG kind of gives you some decent cards and everything. So in this phase, we have, as you can see, a ton of immortality debuffs on. It reminds me of Ratatasker a lot. But the idea here is that you basically just need to use either Amplify cards from melee or Thor cards, and sometimes I've seen the Thor card not even take one off if it doesn't do enough damage. But we do have her passive procced right now, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue. But we're going to throw up a stance here because in this phase, unfortunately, it's like phase 3, floor 3 of the bird already, where each turn he's basically going to disable a specific skill card. So I'm pretty sure he disables stances first, and then he goes to debuffs, and then I think it's recovery skills, attack skills, ultimates, and then you basically can't do anything at that point. So we're just going to go ahead and throw these cards out. The extra unfortunate part is that you really just need to have as much damage as humanly possible going into the final phase, so that way you can try to get him dead before he puts on a ton of these debuffs that are going to be an issue later on. But unfortunately, like I said, it's just going to be RNG, so we'll see how that goes. I pull no melee amplifies, which is just peachy, so we'll see how this ends up turning out for me. Man, the RNG is just stupid. I hate it so much. I'm going to keep this melee AoE card, hopefully, so that way I can try and cleanse some debuffs off in the next phase, if possible. Plus, I think it's just better in general to get rid of a lot of these other cards. So let me just merge this, actually. Use the Thor card, and then we'll just do it like that to get rid of as many cards in my hand as possible. As you can see, dealing low damage gives him an attack or a damage dealt increase. So that's not great, but it just kind of is what it is. Still gave him one there because Miguelda and Deanne just really don't have it going for him. We do pull an extra heal. I don't know that it's necessary, but he's disabled debuff cards now, so we need to really get these immortalities gone. It's going to be a little bit of a close one. Luckily, whatever cards he is sealing from you, these gray debuffs actually do expire when you move to the next phase, so we have that going for us. We're going to go ahead and just use these cards because honestly I have no room to wait, so using the ultimate there doesn't basically do anything. We use the Thor card. I think it did remove an immortality stack, but it didn't do a whole lot of damage, so it ended up giving an attack or a damage dealt increase. Luckily melee got rid of 2 of those and 1 of the immortality stacks. I only have 1 Thor card. I think I'm barely going to squeak by on this one because I think he is attack sealing me next, which is really bad for me. But I actually don't know that it's going to matter because I will draw Thor's ultimate here, and that will take off a stack. Actually, I'm going to have 2 ultimates in hand because I not only have to deal the damage, or like I not only have to use the Thor card, but I have to deal damage as well. So luckily we pull the Deanne ultimate also. I do pull extra Thor cards, but as you can see, we are now attack sealed, and it is gray, so we can't get rid of that. Alright, so let's cleanse that off. I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to use the Thor ultimate to get rid of the final immortality stack, and that should deal 1 damage to kill. So let's see how this goes. Boom. And it removed it. And then boom. And we kill, which is the closest I've ever been to messing this phase up. We got the regular revive passive. He can get Overcome Crisis, which is the worst one. That is the one where I think it's a full heal and he gains basic stats, which is really, really bad. But the idea behind this phase is that he's basically going to put on these Hraesvelgr's Wrath stacks. And you can read it here. Using a skill applies Hraesvelgr's Wrath. This is for him, so whenever he uses an attack skill and stuff. On enemies that take damage from it. Applied differentially based on the section of Hraesvelgr's remaining HP. So this is also going to be one of those stages where, depending on the amount of HP that he has, he's going to either have a defense increase, or I think it's a defense-related increase, an HP-related increase, or an attack-related increase. So that can also be a bit of a problem. And then if we reach 7 stacks, which is the max, we basically take a fixed 500,000 damage, and it's basically going to one-shot us and kill us. And on top of that, each stack is minus 10% damage dealt for us. So will be really beneficial if we can keep those off of us, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. I am just going to spam cards here, try to gain hand space if possible. This is probably the best hand that I've had going into this phase, just because I have such like high rank and like good Thor and melee cards in my hand already, so we'll see how that goes. I think we're going to get him down to the attack-related section, which is good for me because the HP-related stats that he gains, they're quite annoying to deal with. Some pretty good extra cards there. I'm actually not hating on that. We don't have a stance, unfortunately, for the extra damage dealt, but we're just going to have to deal with it. You can see that he is going to be using a buff card at the end of this turn, and that is going to be... It's kind of like the deer, where it's a basic stat increase and an evasion stack. So we won't be able to do any damage to him unless we have this melee ultimate in our hand to be able to actually get rid of that. So let's go ahead and use ultimate, throw these Thor cards out, and then I really need to get rid of some of these stacks. You can see Deanne is at full stacks actually, so she might die if we don't take care of that. Maybe we use ultimate Thor card, heal, melee AoE, because that'll at least remove one. Because I think the Magelda is going to take the one stack, or the... Actually, I might have been able to kill there. Is this going to do... I don't think this will do enough damage. We're really close. I think I'm okay here, but we did remove one stack from Deanne, so maybe this won't be too bad. That's going to apply one stack to everybody, I think. Deanne is taking a lot of damage. We're now infected as well. This is by far the best chance I've had at a run here. So I think we're going to win this time finally, which is great because this has been technically like a one-shot in the video. But trust me, I've been sitting here for like an hour or two trying to like really figure out how this works as far as mechanics go. Because obviously this is going to be something that you're going to have to farm because you get materials and stuff for it. So pretty decent drops there. I did gain a couple of feathers. You need 10 feathers, 3 Hraesvelgr's orbs to be able to upgrade 1 relic, as well as you also need, I think it's a couple of the Hraesvelgr like blue stones, and then if it's a collab relic, you don't need the pizza slices or Doritos or whatever you want to call them, but if it is a regular relic for somebody, you will need the pizza slices to be able to upgrade a relic. So it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be something that you're really gonna have to like figure out the mechanics and really iron it out, so that way you can deal with it when it comes and you can build up your hand and stuff. But it's RNG, man. There's just a lot of like card draw and stuff like that necessary as well. Like obviously like plays and stuff help too, but yeah, it's that is the fight. I'm glad that I've finally been able to beat it. Obviously, as you can see as well, if we go back into the bird here, you can actually reopen it with wind sources, which is kind of cool. I'm glad that it's something that's farmable. Like if you just beat floor 3, you get a wind source anyway. So that is kind of nice. But yeah, I don't know. Not a big fan of how this fight is so far. I'm going to have to reset this so that way I can actually get my updated costumes and stuff like that on Thor, because this is the run that I was using last night on stream. But either way, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this thing. I'm already like in the camp of like I don't want to farm this. Like I'm just not. This isn't something that I'm gonna find myself just being like, man, this is super fun. I'm gonna farm this because I really want to upgrade my relics. But obviously the upgrades will be a little bit helpful, so I'll try to work on them over time. But I'm not going hard on this. It's just, it's rough. So either way, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully I explained the mechanics decently. If you know any extra mechanics or anything like that that I may have missed or just glossed over or something like that, feel free to leave it down in the comments below. Maybe it'll help somebody out. But that is it for me. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you later.